Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Coming to you a little bit early today is the Disney Morning Show with Kyle Burbank
It's a modified Turner Time edition.
and Doobie Mosley. I'm the co-founder. He's our managing editor. What's that? Is that? I just now noticing your Super Bowl trophy on that shirt.
Yeah, Super Bowl 58
Is that
with
the
the
Kansas City
Kansas
Chiefs?
City
Yeah,
Chiefs.
look at you showing off. We're going to catch up everything going on in the world of Disney since we did this yesterday. Yeah, a lot of late breaking stuff we get to cover. So looking forward to that. But we're going to start today the way we start every single show, and that is with a look at Disney stuff. And today's stock price brought to you by my share stream.
Today's stock price is brought to you by Adobe, still learning how to use StreamYard after all these years.
When I forget to do the share screen before we start the show, then it's like, ah. Okay, our share price today, yesterday was at 112.66. Today it's at 113.51, making a big comeback. Yeah.
Santa Claus rally.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, but it's early for it. It's I'm just joking about it, the timing,
So
because it's the 17th. But
if there's a Santa Claus rally and it's consistently a thing, then why not just always buy stock before the Santa Claus rally
I
and
don't
then
know if
sell
it
it
always
after?
happens. It's just a thing. But anyway,
Good morning and welcome to another LP Disney weather report. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. I don't think Santa Claus will mind, do you? He won't have to use our dirty chimney flue. Just bring him through the front door. That's the easy thing to do. I can see me now on Christmas morning, creeping down the stairs. Oh, what joy and what surprise, when I open up my eyes, to see my hippo hero standing there. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. No crocodiles or rhinoceroses. I only like hippopotamuses, and hippopotamuses like me too. Let's get to the weather. Anaheim is only in the 50s now but will warm to 72 today with lots of sunshine. Walt Disney World is a fairly easy doobie pick of the day as their 81-degree high will feel like 85. Castaway Cay is 77 today, however there's a small chance of rain around lunch and it will be a bit windy overall. Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point is also windy again and we'll see showers starting this evening. Through it all, it will still be in the upper 70s. Disneyland Paris is cloudy this evening and will stay around 43 degrees for the rest of the night. Tokyo will be sunny again tomorrow and hit a high of 48. Shanghai will reach 48 degrees tomorrow, but winds will make it feel like 41. This will also make the 40-degree low feel near freezing. Lastly, Hong Kong will once again near 70 tomorrow with sunshine all day. And that will do it for another Disney weather update. Have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
I was trying to coach Ethan on how to sing that song correctly, but it was like trying to teach Joey French. I'm like, hippopotamuses, and he's like, hoofafliflu. So
Don't hear
didn't
a
happen.
difference. I am remiss in not saying hello to some of our biggest friends, Fred Ramirez, Gio, and Nikki B. And yes, Gio, Rebecca is kicking some serious booty and is now 41st place with what, 3 weeks to go, I believe. Oh my goodness. There's actual cash for the people that finished near the top. So, she's on a roll. Anyway,
We got big news this morning.
we do.
Disney and BBC Studios announced they're producing a Bluey film coming to theaters. It'll be coming in 2027. I put 2017 in my in my notes, but it's definitely 2027.
For the release.
Um, and then after release, it'll end up on Disney Plus and ABC iView if you're in Australia. And of course, Bluey was the top streaming series in 2024, so there's no question why they'd want to make a movie. But this does come with a bit of sad news. The creator of the show, Joe Brum, or Broom, I don't know which, has said he's stepping away from the series to focus on the movie. Doesn't mean the series is ending. It just means that he's not going to be involved with any future installments of that. But still, pretty exciting news.
At least he's stepping away to do something related to Bluey.
Mhm.
All right. In other news, congratulations to Bluey. Man, Disney must be raking in the merchandise off of
Yeah, good thing they secured those back in 2019 when they had the chance, right?
that.
No, if you watch our Turkey stream, Disney actually declined the merchandising and theme park rights in 2019. So it's unclear whether Maybe there have been negotiations since, but that was what was reported earlier this year.
You win some, you lose some. The Magic Kingdom had a surprise announcement yesterday, at least surprised me, and that is that the Astro Orbiter at the Magic Kingdom, this is the one in Florida, will be closing for a lengthy refurbishment. It will be down from January 13th through sometime in summer of next year. Have you ridden this attraction, Kyle?
I have not. Nope. I've done the one in Disneyland once.
Yeah, I've never ridden this attraction either. This terrifies me. I've done the one in Disneyland on the ground, no problem. But back when it was up high, that was like the most terrifying experience in the world.
I still think it's very strange that this one's with an E and the other one's with an O.
That's really strange.
Yes.
Do you think they noticed?
I think they know, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. But speaking of Disneyland, they're going to be having some special offers for annual pass holders throughout January, this low time of year, relatively, and bringing them in. So the first, they're going to have a Magic Key Stitch refillable popcorn bucket. You buy it once, then you get refills for just $2. And those will be available from January 8th through February 19th, assuming that they stay in stock. In addition to that, they're going to have a New Year's Magic Shot that pass holders can get from January 8th through the 31st. And then finally, this is probably the most interesting. From January 7th through the 13th, they'll be able to stop by the Starcade in Tomorrowland and encounter special characters and themed photo opportunities and have a chance to get a souvenir pin and lanyard set. But the only downside is that the Starcade is only open from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. each day. So if you're an annual pass holder and you're going to be headed there, or a Magic Key holder rather, make sure you plan your visit if you want to go to the Starcade there, because limited hours. More news. So they've been doing a series of What If involving Marvel and Mickey and Friends. So in the past, we've seen what if Minnie became Captain Marvel, and what if Mickey and Friends became the Fantastic Four. But they just announced Mickey and Friends. What if Mickey and Friends become the Avengers? So this is another one-off single shot that will be coming March 5th. And it should be fun. I love the art for these. I think once all this is done, they should just have like a big poster of all the different covers or something like that, because they're a lot of fun.
And finally, Pixar's Dream Productions, which is the Inside Out offshoot airing on Disney Plus that takes a look behind the scenes of how they create the dreams in Inside Out. It's actually a really fun show. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's doing well. Its first episode received 5.6 million views globally in the first 5 days. And how nice of Disney to tell us how they actually calculate that. It is the total view time divided by the episode runtime.
It's nice of them to tell us how they calculate it, but all of these articles that they give us, they're all just random amounts of time, so you can never really do like an apples to apples.
It is. But they do say it is the biggest animated debut for an animated series since X-Men 97 in March. So quality stuff, getting big numbers. That's what it does.
Has there been another animated debut?
Yeah, don't overthink it.
Okay.
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
And speaking of abysmal, we have our official review of Mufasa. Every time. Our official review of Mufasa, but this time it might be accurate.
One time it will be.
Of Mufasa, the new film from Disney coming out this weekend. It is a prequel to The Lion King. It is the live action version. And this review was done by Mike Celestino, who writes for his subhead, Simba's Father and Uncle Got a Musical Road Movie Origin Story. Here is how the review is summarized by our friend. This review praises Mufasa the Lion King for its stunning visuals and emotional storytelling, which successfully expands the beloved Lion King universe. While the film's narrative relies heavily on familiar themes and moments, it introduces enough new elements to feel fresh and engaging. Fans of the original will appreciate the callbacks, though some may feel it doesn't reach the heights of its predecessor, giving it only a 6 out of 10. We will have Mike Celestino on the show tomorrow to give us in-person review of Mufasa, which maybe will be a little bit more glowing or even a little bit more harsh.
Maybe. We'll see.
We also have a review of The Island Tower at Disney's Polynesian Villas and Bungalows. This one is by Benji, who is now our destination reviewer, apparently. And we
When he
actually
sends himself to the events, yes, he's the one reviewing them as well.
we talked to him yesterday's Parks Talk. He was on talking about the tower, but here's a summary of his review. While much has been made of the location's effect on the skyline of the Seven Seas Lagoon, the tower itself has a lot to offer guests. The island tower.
That was the subhead.
Oh, that makes sense because effect should have been effect, and I thought Chatty made that mistake.
No, that was me.
The Island Tower at Disney's Polynesian Resort adds a modern yet cohesive extension to the iconic resort. Guests enjoy luxurious accommodations with beautiful lagoon and Magic Kingdom views, new amenities like the Wailulu Bar and Grill, and sustainable design touches such as carpets made from sea waste. While the tower enhances the experience with thoughtful homages to Polynesian history, some challenges include elevator key reliance and noise from nearby water activities. The overall offering delivers comfort, sustainability, and a beautiful oasis within Walt Disney World, a 9 out of 10. So, yay! Can't wait to stay there myself. Like hopefully someday. So,
and as far as go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
The elevator key reliance. He was talking about how you want to use a Magic Band probably instead of trying to use the mobile app, which is something that's the entire reason when I go to Vegas that I get a physical key is because I'm not fumbling with my phone to try to get to my floor in the elevator. But yeah, and the noise from the nearby water activities and the walkway as well. So,
and can you read this last one, please?
Yes. A family journey captured behind the scenes of Nat Geo's Blink. So I don't know if this is a review, but this is by
not?
Alex. What?
Is it not a review?
I don't know. It says behind the scenes.
Oh my goodness. Well, then don't read it.
All right.
No, it's not a review.
Go read it on Laughing. Just pretend that we moved on to Around LP and go check out that article. And the rest.
I am so sorry. That's pathetic. You are now prepping every show. Okay, moving on.
I wonder he'd give that a 9 out of 10 based on the fact that it's not a review and he's just promoting the show.
I'm embarrassed. Can you do the marathon?
Yeah. So they announced the first look at some of the merchandise that'll be available for the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend. That's from January 8th through the 12th. And this is supposed to have like a vintage-inspired aesthetic. There are shirts, ears, and a backpack. And these will be available, as always, during the Run Disney Health and Fitness Expo at ESPN Wide World of Sports. And as a reminder, if you are going to be trying to get this on the first day, they use a virtual queue because it's popular. And by the way, you don't need to be doing the race to go to the expo. So if you happen to be in Walt Disney World during that time, you can go to Wide World of Sports and go check out all sorts of stuff. They have a bunch of vendors, food, and some other fun stuff.
Over at Universal Studios Orlando, they have their full lineup of annual pass holder benefits for early next year, which is very exciting if you're a pass holder there. Among the things you can get are, this is from January 6th through the 31st, 40% on select Universal Studios hotels, exclusive upstairs dining spaces and menus at Confisco Grill at Islands of Adventure and Lombard Seafood Grill at Universal Studios Florida, exclusive menu items, and best of all, let's find it here, is that it? The Epic Universe Lanyard giveaway, which is really cool, and Universe May, and other fun stuff as well. So you need pass holders. And in Simpsons news, maybe we'll talk about this with Mike tomorrow too. Their 30th anniversary. Were you an early watcher of The Simpsons at all?
I mean, I don't think I could be too early because I would have been like 3.
My first experience with The Simpsons was the Tracy Ullman Show. I actually used to watch the Tracy Ullman Show, which The Simpsons was a spinoff of. So I've been watching The Simpsons since before there was a Simpsons
Back
TV
when
show.
The Homer sounded like Walter Matthau.
Oh my goodness, did he sound so different? We're going to play a Twitter here in a moment. I don't know if they have that original voice. But anyway, the anniversary is actually today, 30th anniversary, December 17th. 1989 is when that debuted. And
Was that this day in Disney history?
It's not, because it's not on this day in Disney history, because this website probably hasn't been updated since Disney bought Fox. You ever notice that it kind of stops around 2019?
That's sad.
So sometimes I go to Disney Wiki to get more recent stuff. So, but I gave it away anyway right now. 35 years ago today, The Simpsons debuted, and now Disney Plus is inviting fans to a live stream of the series' first episode, debuting at 5 p.m. Pacific tonight on YouTube. Will be Simpsons roasting on an open fire. They have a Twitter promo for this that we're going to play right now.
Okay, kids, prepare to be dazzled.
The magic of the season has touched us all.
Marge, where's the extension cord?
Oh, can we keep him, Dad?
He's pathetic. He's a Simpson.
All right.
Ho, ho, ho! Why, you little...
Where's Hart?
Oh, my God! Christmas is canceled.
The animation looks a lot different, too.
All right. And finally,
Disney has acquired a new series from Sony Pictures Television called Messi and the Giants. Features a young boy named Leo is transported from his home in Argentina into a fantastical alternate universe. And as the name implies, Lionel Messi will be heavily featured throughout. And it kind of sounds like Space Jam to me based on that, with a famous sports star and then some giants or monsters. I don't know. But this will premiere on Disney Channel, and then it'll be available on demand and on Disney Plus globally.
a couple of things Gio said here I meant to. So he gives us some advice for riding the Astro Orbiter. Don't try and ride with two adults unless you're very comfortable with that other person.
Sounds like, or if you want to get very comfortable with that other person.
So is it just one big seat? They don't have a divider in between? Because that's the way Matterhorn.
I was going to say, it sounds like Matterhorn rules.
Yeah, Matterhorn and Splash Mountain used to be the one big seat, and so I used to love to ride that with Rebecca when we were dating. And then they took all the fun out of it. But does Magic Kingdom Astro Orbiter still have that feel? And then he also was on the Tracy Ullman Show. Fun fact: I once went to see the Tracy Ullman Show film live from in front of a live studio audience. I was one of the live.
So you got to see The Simpsons live?
Yeah, it was like they would actually show it on the TV. I had it up above though.
They got to capture those laughs.
Right, we've been covering the bungalows, the island, the new Polynesian hotel tower, and so we actually have a new video we put up yesterday. I think the last video from this event we put up, which is actually the opening remarks, the opening ceremony for the hotel, which is kind of a cool thing. This definitely happens once. Happily, we're in the day and age where you can watch it. That guy looks so familiar. Oh yeah, he does a lot of these things. Like, why does he look familiar? Oh yeah, he's in entertainment and he does a lot of these things. I've seen him many times. So you can go watch that whole ceremony up on Laughing Place right now if you want to. Mike Celestino's latest episode of Who's the Boss is up, and it's not a Star Wars episode. This is from his This is from his Mike and David Movie Club. So Mike and David Murto have been going through. I don't know the criteria for movies. I want to learn more about this movie club. So we're going to ask Mike about that tomorrow as well, as he'll be on to talk Skeleton Crew and other stuff. But this one is about the 1946 film noir, The Dark Mirror, directed by Robert Siodmak, which shares a premise with Lucasfilm's 2024 Disney Plus series Star Wars: The Acolyte. So there's your connection. Are you familiar with this film?
No.
No, I've never heard of it. Mike, of course, being a film major, and he's into all that stuff. He also, speaking of Mike, he also has his latest TV recap / review. We did not do the review summary on this one, but it is of the latest episode of The Simpsons, season 36, episode 9. A long-standing family squabble is put aside in The Simpsons. Homer and her sisters, plus Krusty the Clown, tries to befriend his coworkers. So we will be.
He said this one's definitely worth watching.
Really?
Even if you haven't for a while. Yeah, he made a point to say that.
So you haven't watched the show in 22 years, but now's the time to come back for this one right here. All right, and as I mentioned earlier, we will have Tony Betty on the show in a little bit. He's doing some really high-stakes stuff right now, but when he has a few moments, he is going to come join us, so we will come back to Around LP. But for now, we're going to move on.
The fun stuff.
And Mufasa, of course, is in theaters this weekend. We have another official clip. What do they call this? It's just Mufasa the Lion King, official clip in theaters. Yeah. Let's watch together. Audio on. Go.
Back to the trees. We're trapped. We have to swim. No, we have to fight. If we fight, we die. But if we swim, we drown. Okay, I didn't want to do this, but I command you to swim. Why do you pledge your loyalty? I command you to swim. Taka, this is not the time for jokes.
Which one of you killed my son?
I did. This lion with me is nothing but a stray. Let him go.
Heroes.
The other is no stray.
He holds the blood of the pride.
The blood of the king. Blood for blood.
Those gazelles had no problem getting across, so I don't know what their problem is.
How hyped are you for Mufasa?
Not.
Not-
I don't know.
not
I
into it?
might watch it one day. I've seen the animated Lion King, obviously. I've never seen the live action version.
Yeah, my hype level is 0 for this as well. Do you have trouble? I have no trouble connecting with anthropomorphic animated animals.
Not these ones. These look good. But maybe Polar Express and Christmas Carol.
Okay.
ones.
So you have no trouble connecting with these as characters at all?
No.
I feel like the more real they look, the harder it is for me to connect because the lions don't talk.
It's true. Lions don't talk.
When they're animated, it's no problem, but when they are like actual lions, it just, I don't know. Anyway, let's. All right, this day in Disney history, the portion of the show where Kyle shows off just how much of a genius he is by telling us exactly what happened on this day in Disney history. We only have one today. It is a 2010 film.
A 2010.
2010, yes, it's actually maybe far into the future. 2010 film, and I will read you the limerick that Chatty came up with. This is not its best work. Yes, that one we had the other day was like, all right, in a grid.
In a grid. Okay, I got it.
Shut up.
Continue.
Bad giveaway. In a grid where the neon lights hum, a son's quest to find where he's from. His father's old maze with programs ablaze. The battles are digital drum.
Okay. It's Tron Legacy.
It is Tron Legacy. Not a horrible one. Not a horrible one. I want to find a good part of the clip to show of that. There we go. Let's go here. Tron Legacy 2010. Did you see this movie in theaters?
I did see. I was about to say I saw this movie in theaters. Yeah, I did. I also saw a preview of it about maybe 6 months after the movie came out during Electronica.
This probably the second most disappointing theatrical movie experience ever. I was so hyped for Tron Legacy. This is like Tron 2.0 with that movie that's been coming out forever, and it finally came. And I was in the IMAX opening night, and so disappointing. I fell asleep. It was
you learn that pretty glowing lights and Daft Punk can't make anything good. Like it has to still have a story.
It was not great. So, yes. Oh, we're happy to educate you, Nikki B. Yes, today you learned lions do not talk. That is right. And I did, and it hurt to do it. I'm sorry, but it actually was appropriate there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go back to Around LP. We do not have an intro for you, which I'm very sad about. Wait, we do have an intro.
We do have one for him.
What am I talking about?
I don't know. Want me to hit it?
Yeah, hit it.
And now, joining the show is someone very special. We have a mutual friend in Wally. He's the Doobster's favorite person on Earth, and he's a tub time extraordinaire. You know him, you may or may not love him. Here he is. Drumroll. Technically Tony.
Hey, Tony, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing pretty good. This is Tony Betty. He is just a rank and file journeyman writer for
I'm so
LP.
confused.
It's fair. It is a different angle. I'm using a bit of a different setup, so just for today.
Nice tree.
Nice YouTube plaque.
Beautiful.
Thank you, and thank you.
Oh, where do you get that?
I have my own channel. It usually shows my heel and ankle, but
That's why you made 100,000. All right, Tony, we're having you on to talk about a couple of things. I don't know. I just feel like we need to have Tony on every Tuesday. What do you want to talk about, Tony? You pick it.
well, isn't that what the Rand show was for? But no, I recently went to Taco Bell and they're doing the Decades collection, and they have the 90s Gordita, they have the 60s Tostada. Don't ask me about anything else in that Decades collection because those are the two that are getting all my money.
My favorite Tony content lately has been checking his Instagram to see what he gets in his Funko Advent calendar, and him explaining the slight differences between the two Eves he got, which would be disappointing to some people, but I bet you Tony's excited because he has two Eves.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Oh, man. Tony Betty, everybody. Favorite person in the world.
So what Kyle's referring to is on my personal Instagram. I have a Pixar Funko Advent calendar, and every day you open it up, and each one there's a little Funko Mini in it. I love it. It's fun, but I'm disappointed in it because not all of them are holiday themed, and they don't like mix them up. So if you start with The Incredibles, you're getting the rest of The Incredibles for the next 5 days. So a few days ago, this Eve came into play, which is great. I love it. It's Wally. It's everything. It's also a smaller version of a mold that already exists. No real holiday theming. And then last night, as Kyle's referencing, I opened the door and get this one. I'll show you again. Here's last night's, and here's from a few nights ago.
Oh, that's quite the difference.
Put them side by side. And this one is technically a frozen winter snow thing version of Eve, and this one's just the plain one. What? Anyway.
All right. Now that we've gotten past the Advent calendar, let's move on to Bob Weiss, which was the first thing I know I wanted to talk to you about. Can you tell us, what's this piece you recently wrote?
Well, it was an interview with him about his book, Ghost Dog, and we tangentially went off and started also talking about his other book, Dream Chasing. Ghost Dog is very different than Dream Chasing. I'm sure a lot of Disney fans are familiar with Dream Chasing, which is his kind of autobiographical memoir about his time at Imagineering, as he is the former president of Walt Disney Imagineering. Ghost Dog is a fictitious young adult book about a boy who visits the Haunted Mansion when it opened in 1969, and a ghost dog followed him home.
Tell us, give us some insight from the interview.
Well, we talked about his inspiration for the book, and he basically said, I said he obviously knew a lot about Disneyland in the 60s. Was that from his time at Imagineering? He goes, oh, no, because I used to go pretty much every week. So that was cool. He talks about a lot about like the different, like in the book anyway, the styles and stuff. So a lot of it's based on his own personal experience going to Disneyland. And then there are aspects of the book, to keep it not completely spoiler free, maybe a little bit, but that take them to WED Enterprises at that point in time. And I asked him, like, because there are talks where he talks about building plans and blueprints for the mansion. And I said, you had access to those. Did you use those as reference? He goes, oh, no, it's a fantasy, but I did have access to them. So it was a little bit of a humble brag. And then
he also, there's some references or like I don't know if in jokes or sort of, but you caught on to those, and he confirmed that your suspicions about those references were correct.
Yes. There was a fictitious Imagineer or designer he named with Mark, and it was MARC. I think it's a reference to Mark Davis, and he looked and he just goes, "Good, you're doing very good so far." So,
you passed.
It was fun, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. That the interview actually came about because last time I was here, I was talking to you guys about CTN, and I met him at CTN, and we talked about the book, and he said I would love to talk with you more about it. So we did.
That's pretty awesome. What else? I've got your whole archive here, Tony. Anything you want to talk about from your?
Well, I was also going to talk about more about how he leaned into Dream Chasing a little bit, and it was a nice moment. It was funny, but he got really sweet with it. He said something about we were talking about Imagineering in the 60s up to the 80s, and then how it is now, and he credited Leslie Iwerks. But he said now there's more people who know what Imagineering is than just like a Disney fan. Because back in the 60s, you had no idea what was going on. Like with the mansion, you were just kind of looking through the fence at the house on the hill. And I said, well, in the 80s, like at Splash Mountain, when I grew up, all you saw was a wall with the concept art on it. And now I said you put a steel beam up and 18 different websites cover it within an hour, and then they put a new coat of paint on it, and we know every step by step. And he just goes, "Oh Lord." But then we started talking about fans taking ownership of everything, and then this is where it got sweet for a second, because he goes, fans do own the parks. And he said, and what I've learned as an Imagineer and what I tell other Imagineers is that you are just a steward guiding the parks through the development and progression of time. And that's all in the interview. Check it out. But it was a very nice moment that I thought we were just going to rag on Disney bloggers for a second.
You mean us?
Yeah, us. We're self-aware.
He switched it up on you.
He did.
Instead. Influencers are the best. They're even better than bloggers. Those influencers, those character interactions, are always hilarious. Anything else you want to mention? I'm not going to make today's meeting. So what are you working on today?
Well, today I have a new DTVA show that's coming out in middle of January 11th, called Stugo. So I have some work to do with that as we prep for that show to
Disney
debut.
Television animation.
Yep. Sorry, I keep saying DTV. I even said it with that.
They know who they are.
They know who they are.
They forget. All these acronyms get flying around and people forget what's going on. All right. And Tony, of course, you do all our recaps and reviews of all the...
Did you guys talk about the National Film Registry post?
No, I was going to say, that's what we really spent our morning doing.
All right. Go for it.
So every year, the Library of Congress adds 25 films to the National Film Registry, which are selected for preservation based on a cultural, historic, or aesthetic significance. I am happy to say that WALL-E was nominated and pulled into it in 2021, making it only the second Pixar movie to ever be included in this list. But this year, if you're a Disney fan, you ain't getting nothing.
You said one has a Disney connection.
A very loose Disney connection. It was an independent production released by 20th Century Fox, and it was Invaders from Mars in 1953.
Which you can stream on
Tubi,
as we learned.
And
also learned the actress in the movie is Helena Carter, which made me realize why she's Helena Bonham Carter. Because you can't have the same name as another person in SAG. So that's probably why she's Helena Bonham Carter.
That's funny. This is not a bad collection, though. I mean, Star Trek II.
No, there are some big names in there. And that's actually, as I was investigating all of these, as Kyle knows, I was kind of like looking, it can't be the only Disney title. There's always something, right?
Spy Kids. Is Spy Kids not a Disney movie?
Nope, it's from Dimension Films.
I think Angels with Dirty Faces might be in Great Movie Ride in the end.
In the montage.
Yeah, but
I'm going to out Kyle for a second. Kyle also thought that Angels with Dirty Faces was the fake movie from Home Alone.
Which is Angels with Filthy Souls.
That's funny.
And even filthier souls if it's the second one.
Yep. Beverly Hills Cop is Paramount. Dirty Dancing, I think, is owned by Paramount now. Don't quote me on that. No Country for Old Men, I kept mixing up, and I thought it was a Searchlight feature, but it's not. Same thing with Social Network.
It's Sony. Yeah.
Sony Social Network, Sony.
Dang, what's up with Disney not getting nothing?
And even in the post, I said in the last few years alone, Lady and the Tramp, Little Mermaid, Night Before Christmas, WALL-E, Fox's Home Alone.
They could have released on Mars Needs Moms and John Carter of Mars along with Invaders from Mars. Come on.
We want to preserve it for aesthetic significance there and how bad it looked, yes.
Because this means not just Disney, but 20th Century. That Fox doesn't have anything, and Fox has been making movies forever. That's just amazing that you can pick this many films and not have a Disney or Fox movie.
Invaders from Mars is a Fox kind of.
Okay, but come on. All right, Tony. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're hoping to do Tuesdays with Tony, schedule permitting. So get used to that face. Everyone loves him. Get back to work.
Okay.
All righty. Look at the football from this past weekend. We both did well in week 15. You did 12-4, but I did 13-3. I am catching up. I am now only 8 games behind you with 3 weekends left.
I think my fantasy football season ended. I was in 3 leagues. 2 of them I got kicked out of before the playoffs. This last one, I was number 1 in the league going into it, or the past couple of weeks, but I had some really bad situations where people were questionable and then they'd end up playing really well. And then I had people that were supposed to play and then didn't, or just played poorly. And of course, my can't think of his name at the moment, but the Lions running back got injured, so that failed for me. So yeah, I think I'm done.
I think you're done. It happens, but you made it this far. Be proud of yourself. And Rebecca letting me know that the caramel apple empanadas have returned. That's good news.
We're gonna see Tony pop his face back on.
All right, that's it for today. For the first time. This is 4 Show Tuesday. So we've got this show. And then at 11 a.m., we've got a walk and talk from Animal Kingdom, taking a look at Christmas at Animal Kingdom live. You can walk around. Who's doing that? Tony?
That'd be Tony and Jeremiah.
Tony and Jeremiah. And then at 4 p.m. Pacific, we've got Barely Necessities with my wife and his wife, Disney Merchandise Show. And then at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, tonight we have Disney Trivia Live with me and my son, Gideon. So that's a reminder. I need to write 2 trivia contests. So stay tuned to Laughing Place all day. Please like, subscribe, ring that bell if you really like us. Click that join button. And don't forget to support our sponsor, Mouse Fan Travel, for any Disney travel you have a need to do. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We will see you tomorrow morning.
Bye.